Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, the Monday after the storm. You made it through okay, Bob?
I survived.
That's like the rest of us. We
like
survived.
a lot of people, inconvenience, but that's the blessing. It's only inconvenience.
Yeah,
so
it's
just
not like
got to deal with it. A lot of people without power, still without power at my place. But listening to stories over the weekend about other counties, Apple and Jeff Davis, we're fortunate.
We're fortunate.
We're just dealing, Like I told you, I got back Wednesday from the Warner Rome's football game and didn't even think about getting gas Thursday. And then the storm hit, and Friday nobody had gas that I could find. And Saturday I got word that Parker's out there by the mill had it, so I went up there and fought that line. But that was an interesting. It brought me back to the 70s, back when I was
back in the 70s when the OPEC embargo, we had to sit in line.
My mother and I had to sit in line forever up there in Pittsburgh, and people were yelling, screaming at each other. So it brought back memories of that. So, but about an hour, 15 minutes. I was able to get up there and get a full tank of gas. So, but driving around town, the last couple of days, the lines, the places that do have gas.
Even yesterday, the lines were.
Yeah,
I filled up on Thursday. I filled it all the way up on Thursday because I knew the storm was coming, and made it through. The long lines yesterday. Long lines again yesterday. People trying to get gas. This has been a learning experience for a lot of folks. That the next storm that comes through, make sure you fill up a day or two beforehand. If you have a generator, at least have 4 or 5 gallon containers already filled up, ready to go. And but it's just being prepared. I know that when Family Tradition opened up, they were just packed because even if you did have food, you didn't have power, so you couldn't cook for a lot of folks. And Family Tradition and other restaurants did, so there was long lines there. And Burger King and Sonic, the ones that were open because they had power, had long lines for food because a lot of us couldn't cook.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't have gas on my cat, so just walked up around town. The bistro did a nice job. They were out there cooking hamburgers and chicken wings all day Friday for people, so that was nice. Like I said, just walking around, seeing who had power, who didn't have power. Just some people had generators, but bistro, they didn't want to lose all that food, so they were out there just grilling it up and cooking it, and people were appreciative on Friday. Then, like I said, when I got my gas Saturday, I drove around, came out of the station, and saw where the steakhouse or the Family Tradition was open, so I stopped by there and got breakfast on Friday, so that was good. So, like I said, most places Walmart was open, had long lines, only letting so many people in at a time. I mean, it was just interesting times. But like I said, I keep using the word just inconvenience right now. I'm still having trouble with my cell service.
I'm having trouble with my cell service, so we got a guy here that might know about that. Donnie Ray's in this morning, the Director of the Emergency Management Agency here at Wayne County. Good morning, Donnie. You get any sleep?
I have not. I've been at work since 6 o'clock yesterday morning. Went and freshened up a little bit and come right back to work this morning.
You got the overview of the entire county, so tell us how bad it is countywide.
Countywide power is very, let me tell you, our power comes up. Tell you a quick little thing. Last night, about 9:15, I ran into our local Satilla crew. I see all the time around town. I was talking to them, and they give me a quick little update. Well, guess what? 7:30 this morning, we sitting on the side of the road talking again. So the power companies are out. They're working, y'all. I keep hearing people say they're working hard. But you got to understand, this is a statewide event. So a lot of the power companies we're used to coming in and helping us, they're not going to be able to help us because they got troubles too. So
where do you go help? Every county in the state practically has problems.
Every state. Now, I did write it down this morning, or last time during the storm when I looked, it might have went up a little bit, but like Satilla had 95.1% of Wayne County was out that had Satilla.
Now, is that when it first happened?
That's when it first happened.
95% of Satilla customers were out of power.
At 4 o'clock.
And I was one of them.
Yes. And I'm still one of them.
You're still one of them.
And it's going to be a while for me, I can promise you. So I looked this morning at 4 o'clock this morning. They're at 61.7. So they made some good
61%. 61% has or hasn't?
Hasn't.
So
still
over half of the Satilla customers still don't have power in Wayne County. Okay.
Correct. In Georgia Power, I don't have a percentage. It was 4,730. I looked one time during the storm that was out, and now we had 3,470 without power. Which Georgia Power is.
So they're still just a hair over half.
Yes.
that's still out power, and Bob's one of them.
Yeah.
You may not know the answer to this question, but like I said, was it true that all the power companies went elsewhere because we weren't predicted to get hit hard, and it was that because when everybody woke up on Thursday, that was the big story I got from everybody. We don't see any power trucks
Don't see any
anywhere.
trucks anywhere, right?
But they said they were all elsewhere because they thought the storm was going to hit somewhere else. And
I also heard that, but
is that true or not true?
I don't know if that's true or not, but I can
gotcha.
tell you this. Georgia Power's representatives been in my office every day, 2 or 3 times a day, and like I said, the Satilla EMC, I've talked to their guys every day. I know our local crews are here.
Right, they're doing.
So-
Now
Yeah,
I know from reports that we got here at the station from Georgia Power is the fact that the first day they had to assess
Yes.
what the problems were. They just couldn't just throw trucks out there and say,
Yes.
all right, we're going to fix. They had to assess the situation, set priorities, make a plan, and then go out. So that's probably why you didn't see hardly any trucks out there for a lot of the day on Friday.
They got a media guy. Y'all know him, Alan. He
Yeah.
keeps coming by my office and talking to me, and so they was in town like you. They was assessing it, but we had 245 calls to either power lines or trees down in Wayne County come through 911. The best I could tell. Now it's a lot to count. I sat there and hand counted them. I think I come up with 245 calls.
245 calls.
Yes,
That came in
amazing.
for trees down.
Yeah, that's
Trees
the
or power
main
lines.
thing.
Trees
Our
are-
alleyway trees were dying big time. Took some pictures. So that's the first thing. You have people come in there, cut those trees and cut them
Yes.
up and get them off the power lines. I
Yeah.
mean, so that takes a while. Who does all that? Just
Okay.
volunteer people, or how's that work?
we have volunteers. We've got some. Let me tell you, Wayne County. I've always said this. We and FEMA says every time they come in here, they said y'all clean up so quick, it's unreal. So what we do is we got a plan up there with the sheriff's office, police department, city and county. We're all working together. That's one good thing. Everybody gets along. During the storm is happening, we're out cutting trees down. Everybody has chainsaws in their trucks. We got farmers that volunteer. They'll take a section, and we know about where everybody's at. And we're cutting trees down as they're falling. Now this one here, we're gonna have. As long as I've been there, we had to in Matthew, and this one we had to shut down for about an hour and a half probably. We had to come off the roads because the wind got so high. Right after an hour and a half, 2 hours, we was right back out cutting trees. And when I say we, I'm talking about, like I said, volunteers, firemen, policemen, EMS. If they wasn't answering calls, they was helping us, and they was steadily cutting trees out of the road and pulling them out
And
of the way.
like you said, there's a lot of volunteers.
Yes.
When my son Matt left the radio station about 5 o'clock on Thursday, I guess Friday morning, as you want to say that,
Right.
because he was here during the station during the storm. He headed home, and we got to the dirt road off of Highway 301 South. There was a tree right across there. So
Yes.
he stopped and got his chainsaw, like a lot of folks have in the
That's right.
toolboxes, and he started cutting it up. Well, a couple of local cops saw him doing that. I guess it was county out that way. And they came over to him and said, hey, can you help us get this tree off of 301 South? Because it went right across 301 South. So he stopped what he was doing, went over there and helped him cut that tree up, and then went and started cutting the tree that was preventing him from getting to his house. So a lot of volunteers.
Yeah. Now, we're getting a lot of calls that there's still trees down, but the trees that's down are the ones that has the power lines wrapped up in them.
They do.
We cannot cut them. That the power companies take care of them because of the insurance and everything. We cannot touch the trees, so we're not sure if it's deemed dead or not. The wires, so we
Right.
do not cut them. We'll just put tape on them and all, and then, like I said, the power companies come in later and they'll clean them up. when they
Right.
start
Donnie
hanging.
Reagan this morning, the director of the Emergency Management Agency here in Wayne County, our guest this morning. Bob?
The schools, of course, are closed until further notice. You have any idea how much damage the school got? I know you drive by Joe Williams' word, there's a big tarp on it. Apparently got a hole in the roof or somewhere on Third Hall was what
Yes, the
Tony
300
Williams told me.
hall.
Right.
They had a good portion of that roof come off. They have been in my office every day. The school has. They're another one. They step up. They're up there with us all the time. They're in all our meetings. The school is very well representative. And the last time I talked to them is they had already got the insurance company in there, looked at it, and I think they're already working on it.
Right,
I think they might even started.
In case people missed the news and sports, like I said, everybody knows this is homecoming week. Tony Williams says they're going to make an announcement about that situation sometime tomorrow, but they do have a school food services. They're going to help people. Again, I'm going to repeat that story because that starts tomorrow. Again, the school food services will be conducting a feeding program for children up to age 18 beginning tomorrow. Again, meal packages will be available for pickup beginning tomorrow from 11 to 12 at Odom Elementary, Scriven Elementary, James E. Bacon, and Martha Earl Smith Elementary. So pickup will be conducted on a drive-through at the front of the schools. So again, and continue to follow their social media school website for all the information on that. So again, like I said, been in contact with Tony over the weekend, and I said right now school is closed until further notice, but they're going to reassess everything and have an announcement on the homecoming festivities later this week. So as soon as we get that, we'll pass the information along. So how about, you mentioned nursing homes, how are they being affected?
They the one I went to this morning about 3:00, they have generators enough to keep everything going. So I went by and just checked on. We're going to try to get a bigger generator. They're hooking it up this morning for them. So they're like everybody else. We hope they get power today. We need it. Our 911 center, we've been on generators since it hit. So
y'all don't have power there
No, sir.
at the sheriff's office?
No, sir. We're running on generator.
Wow. Right there at Walnut Street, don't have power.
Yeah.
Ice seems to be the biggest commodity. It's hard to find ice.
Ice. Well, we put in a request for ice through WebBOC, which is GMO. We put in a request yesterday. Not sure when it's going to get here, but we did order a semi truck of ice.
Okay.
And when it comes in the town, how would that be distributed?
What we're going to do is we're going to the best way we get in touch with people right now is Facebook, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
And
we
us.
yes, I was going to say, and I'm going to get in touch with y'all,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll just announce where they can get to, and people can come by and get it.
Somebody wants to know, if you have questions, you can always text it in at 912-427-3711. Somebody wants to know, does Donnie know exactly how high the wind speeds got during the storm?
Okay, in Wayne County, we have weather stem stations set up at the high school and one at my office. They're like the official one. And then we got one down around Penn Holloway, another one that we can use. The highest that Jacksonville said we got was 66.
Okay.
And I was actually looking at it when it hit 66, and I wrote it down in my notes somewhere in here exactly what time it was. I think it was 140. It was 140, I think, when I saw 66 on there.
That must have been the one that came through and knocked that tree down in my house.
It must have been one at 3 o'clock on that night,
when
because
heard
I had a
that,
huge tree fall at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Like I say, that you mentioned, it's sad that it comes during night. You can't. You're laying in bed, all of a sudden you hear this boom.
Boom!
I was like, oh my! I hope that wasn't my car. So you get out.
Why do
and
they
run.
come through at night, Donnie?
I don't know.
Well, Matthew came through at night. Now, the second
did.
one we got the next year, 2017, that was we got lucky on that one. But it seems like they come at night for some reason. You're
And
laying there in bed wondering what's happening.
And the city and county had a couple accidents, like people running in trees. I'm going to go back and look at the exact numbers, but there were several.
And let's tell folks about the when lights go out at an intersection. If you remember taking your test when you were 16 years old, and is the fact that when the lights are out at an intersection, all the lights are dark. There's nothing up there. There's no red, green, or black, or red, green, or yellow. That means it becomes a four-way stop.
Yes.
That means you drive up to it, you stop. I've seen so many people just fly through there, and if somebody pulls out on them, they honk their horns at them.
Yep.
Well, if they'd have gotten an accident, the person that ran through that the light that was out would have been in fault. So it's a four-way stop sign. If you come to an intersection, has no lights on in either side. If you come up to a light that way and it doesn't have any lights on it, stop and go through it like it's a four-way stop.
Correct. And one car at a time.
One car at a time.
Have there been any accidents though? I mean,
Yes.
there have been. I was going to say. I mean,
It has
I
to be.
would have seen.
I've seen. I mean, it was like it was amazing what I saw out there. I was just really surprised that there wasn't more accidents and people just not obeying the law, just running right through traffic lights that were dead, left, right, forwards, and backwards, thinking they had the right of way.
Yes, sir.
And someone said lights at some of the railroad crossings are still out. How do those lights stay on at railroad crossings? Do they have batteries on them or something? Generators. Because I've seen some on where the lights were out in that area. Then, of course, some people have seen ones that were completely out. Maybe
Yes.
the generators got out of gas or something, whatever.
They do have generators.
All right. It says, someone text in, says, want to thank all the people out there trying to get people's lights on and get people's lights on. There are places worse than us. Be grateful. And that's
right.
just what Bob said a moment ago. We got to be grateful here in Wayne County because Jeff Davis, Appling County, Lowndes County, if you're west of us, you got it worse than we did here in Wayne County.
Yes, sir. I also want to address one thing real quick. I've been getting phone calls all day yesterday and all the way through last night. That's one reason I worked all night last night. People are calling FEMA for individual assistance. Y'all, let me explain. So This goes through, it starts with local, state, and then FEMA's how this goes. Our numbers have been turned in. They know how many, I've had 85 houses reported, but I just noticed y'all's building, so I'm going to go back and report
we got tarp up on ours.
I took pictures of it before I walked in.
Yep.
So I'm going to go back and report.
Had a lot of shingles get blown off here at the radio station.
I'm thinking we're going to double that number on houses. That's just how many I've got reported so far. So that's already been reported, and each day I call Gene and add to it. But a lot of people call me upset because FEMA's telling them that Wayne County's not doing our job, that this storm hadn't been reported. Yeah. So I text GEMA. I'm going to read you exactly what they text
GEMA
back.
or FEMA?
GEMA.
GEMA.
I texted
That's
GEMA
Georgia.
last night and asked them. And let me tell you, I was very surprised. I texted them at 1 o'clock this morning, and they responded within like 5 minutes.
Wow.
I was very surprised. And that was that's our representative, not like, anybody else. So this is what it says. It's I am aware of some people upset about FEMA isn't taking applications. Someone at some point started posting that FEMA assistant number and saying they can get help. They are also telling them that they can get hotel vouchers and so forth. This may occur because the declaration for Debbie, the one we had with all the rain, got declared the day before this one hit land. Mm-hmm. So they declared Debbie the day before. So a lot of people got confused, and they're calling trying to get FEMA assistant, individual assistant. They're at hotels saying we should pay for it. That we have not got declared yet for this storm. It takes a while. And you see, how long was Debbie? A month ago, probably.
Right.
Yeah. So we're just now getting that. So I just want to clear that up, that this has not been declared by FEMA and all that, so we're not getting assistance from
All right,
them
somebody
as of
wants to
now.
know, is there a Hurricane Joyce right now? You were talking about, someone's calling it Joyce, okay?
Yes, that's going to be the next name.
Okay, Hurricane Joyce, which will be the next name if it forms and becomes a hurricane, is headed this way. Is that true?
Okay. I've seen it on Facebook where models got it coming back kind of similar to this one. That is one model out of 10. Y'all, it is way, way too early to predict where this storm's going, the intensity, or anything else.
Way down there in Caribbean, so we don't know yet.
It's not even formed yet. So
it's not even formed into a tropical storm yet. It's just
they're saying it's going to. I mean, it's got a 50% chance, and it'll get that chance will get stronger. But you just got to remember, it's according where it's formed that which way it starts going, and it's way too early to tell. But yes, we are watching it every day. I can promise you 2 or 3 times a day.
All right, and I know we get updates from you because we got updates from you on Helene many days in advance before it actually hit here, and we passed that information along to our listeners. Plus, gave them tips on how to prepare for the hurricane and so forth. Did we have somebody text in? Did we have any tornadoes in Wayne County?
We did not.
Okay,
we had some straight line winds. It looks like. And y'all, I say this over and over, straight line winds can do just as much damage as tornadoes. It's just not twisting. It's just as fast. It just don't rotate.
Okay. Somebody text in, I want to thank everyone that has helped in the storm. Y'all have done a great job. One good thing I see out of the storm, I've never seen more kids and parents outside playing than I have in years. God told us to slow down for a reason. You're sitting there at home. We're so used to electronics these days. You don't have power. Maybe you don't have a generator. So you're trying to save the battery on your electronics, your phone and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you don't have television because, the power's out. And so that's true. A lot of people are doing what we did when we all grew up. You stayed outside because the parents were inside. And so a lot of people did go outside and do outdoor activities. And, of course, most of the outdoor activities I saw were people clean up debris.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask this question. If there's somebody out there, they don't know who to call if they have a tree in their yard or something like that, who should they call? I mean, is there one person they could call, one agency they could call to help them?
Okay, when it's on private property, we can't come in. Now, if you're in your house and we got to come get you, we're going to come get you. But we cannot remove trees off private property. So there are some associations around that's starting to come into town that does that, but I do not have their exact contacts yet. But once I do, I will post it.
Now, when you say associations, what do you mean by that? Because I don't want crews coming here in town in Wayne County ripping people off.
No, sir. Ones I'm talking about are like there's a couple of ministerial groups that come in, and different groups like that will come in and volunteer to go help people that cannot get the stuff. But like I said, this is Wayne County. Most people got a chainsaw, and they'll start a fire in their backyard. and their yards are clean. My daddy was cutting his grass about 2 days after this storm
I couldn't
come
believe
through.
people that had the fires going on the day after on Friday with all that wind.
Yes.
I'm thinking, why in the world
Yes.
are you burning all this debris when there's wind blowing 15, 20 miles an hour?
But they can also, and we'll touch this real quick. You can also go to the Wayne County Emergency Management Facebook page. You can go to the message and send me a message. If you got damage to your house, put it on there. Put pictures. For some reason, I have to know if it's insured or not when we turn it into the state, and your address. And if you can take a few pictures of your house, I will come back by and look at your house. I have to ride by every one of them to assess them. So you can do that. But also, back up a little bit. A lot of people had questions about alerts. I don't know about y'all. My phone was going crazy, but some people said they didn't get alerts. Wayne County has our own alert system. It is called Code Red. And all you have to do is text alert WC to this number 24639, and it will sign you up. You go in there, answer question where you live at and all that kind of stuff, and you'll get the weather alerts. You
get the weather alerts like that, and it really surprised me that if people didn't know this was going to happen, because it was talked about on radio and television, on social media. Y'all had it on y'all's sites about how bad the storm was going to be.
Yes, sir.
And it came to fruition. Yeah.
And the Wayne County, our official Wayne County, Georgia, Wayne County government Facebook page, it is down right now. So if you go to it, it's down. You have to go to mine to see what the updates.
Okay.
But also, I was going to tell you too, I give out emails like to you and all y'all get them. That's open to anybody can get these emails. All you have to do, if you can remember this, is just send me an email to dray@waynecountyga.us and say, I would like to request the email list. I will add anybody to it, and they'll get the updates as it's coming, any storm that is.
Okay, we know what's happened. We've talked about that. What happens from today forward? What are the plans with the Emergency Management Agency and with Georgia Power, with Satilla, and things of that sort? What can we expect in the rest of this week?
Okay, the rest of the week, we're just trying to get resources in to help the people that don't have power. We're going to stay in touch with power companies, see if we can any way we can assist them, because we can, we will. But also, I have to start declaring these houses, because they got a rough number, and now we got to start doing it. But also, the county has to start, and the city has to start detailing what we're doing as far as cleanup and all that. We have to keep up. We have to keep up with every dump truck, who's driving that dump truck, where they carried the tree to, what we done with the tree, whether we're going to burn it, chip it, or whatever we got to do. We got to start documenting that. And that's where we're going to be.
Who do you give that information to, and why?
So when we get declared, we have to go and enter all this in to the computer. When it's going to take, like I said, we just got Debbie, so we got 90 days to start working on Debbie. And then when this goes, we're going to be overlapping storms, getting them fixed, and that's how we get our reimbursement.
Okay, now just go back, because we talked on it briefly. So if you have trees down in your yard, like you do and like I do,
yes,
all right, that's your private property. That's your own responsibility, unless it's on your house or structure. But if it's just laying out there in the yard, but you're going to have organizations that come into town that help people remove these trees from their yards. And when will we know they're here, and how will we know they're here?
I will put on our Facebook page just as soon as we get it. Like I said, that's the Wayne County Emergency Management Facebook page. And we'll also come to y'all and let y'all know. And when they come in, they'll bring group 40, 50 in, and they'll go around and start cutting trees.
What do they do with the trees when they cut them up? They just leave them there, and your responsibility to move them out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just cut them up, and then
now if we get declared and all, there could be a good possibility we could help with that, but we haven't got declared yet.
Okay, what about, have you been in contact with Verizon or AT&T or any other cell service? I know that by phone I cannot receive anything inside the station.
Correct.
I have to go outside. Yesterday, for about 8 hours, I didn't have service. Internet is so much slower on my phone than it was before the storm. What's going on with the cell service here in Wayne County?
It's just the towers, some of them damaged and all, and just the amount of people using them.
Okay, so a lot of damaged towers, which means they have to be redirected to other towers, and they get overloaded.
Correct.
So probably in a few weeks we'll be back to regular cell service once they get them fixed.
We keep 3 Southern Links with us. They They actually kept the whole time we had service with them. So we was able. That's our backup up at the 911 center, and with EMA is we have a couple Southern links we can talk to, and then we also have what we call cash radios that we can give out to our employees, and we can talk back and forth with them. So we didn't lose communication along. With our emergency services, we was okay.
All right. Someone says, please repeat the number for Wayne County area announcements. I don't know if that was a number or was it a website.
That's the code red.
Okay.
And what you do, you text the word alert WC, all capital letters, to the number 24639. And that gives you all the, any tornado warnings, any bad weather warning, and all that comes across there. Even if, let's say, we have a missing person, we can use that for it. So that we use that. We pay for that to have it. It's very good.
Okay. And somebody wants to know someone says I have no power or internet. How do we report home damage?
They can call if they got phones or they don't have phone service. We will. Okay. So if we don't get to you like right now it don't mean you're not going to get help. We're just trying to get numbers. We have to make a number. And during Debbie, it was $138,000 we had to make in damage, which we're going to do that. If the same numbers this time, we're going to hit it again. So we'll go. They'll actually FEMA will send somebody in and go door to door just about to check on people to see if they have home damage.
Okay. And one thing you want to do, like we did here when we the next day on Friday, we saw all these shingles blown all over the stations. We contacted our insurance company. Yes. We've already got a date for the adjuster to come in and take a look at it. And, of course, if you're here locally, just call the emergency management office here in town, and they can help get things set up.
And I'm going to tell you, take pictures and document.
Always take pictures.
Always
Matt took a bunch of pictures around the station.
And, we got our the deputies and police and firemen all when they go out, so they'll take pictures of stuff for me and send it to me. Mm-hmm. So now they'll text it, with technology. Now they can text on the picture where they're at. So now when I get a picture, I know exactly where they're at.
All right. Somebody wants to know, what do you do with all debris? You got all this debris in your yard, and you don't have woods like I do to throw it into all the debris. Where do you put it?
All right. That'll be something that happen in the next day or so. We have to get a certified landfill, which we certify, so it shouldn't take long for us to get that ready to go. And then I'm sure we will either start doing it ourselves and burning it, or we will. Last time we burned all that with Matthew, which we had to get permits every day for how many,
Didn't you have
days.
something across for Broadhurst last time or somewhere like that where you had a certain area where people could take it that was set up different than Broadhurst?
We did on one storm, but I don't remember
one
which
storm.
One. Yes.
Okay,
but we just staged it there and then we moved it.
Just staged it.
If I remember right. If I remember right, we
people
staged
could take it there
yes.
and then y'all moved it from there.
Yes.
So just keep it tuned into 105.5. We'll keep you updated on what's going on with all that stuff. Plus, you can go to the Emergency Management Agency here in Wayne County Facebook page, and they'll let you know.
Because right now, all we're trying to do, the reason we don't have all this set up right now, we're just trying to get the roads clear and the power company so they don't have to slow down none. So we've not started anything with the debris yet.
All right. It says, can y'all tell people to be considerate when they're filling people's homes with smoke?
Yes.
Yeah. If you got neighbors right around you and you're burning, people don't want to sit in their living room and have to cough because there's smoke.
That's right. Especially when they don't have power.
Yeah. Bob?
Like I said, I'm sure Georgia Power and Satilla just want to let people know they're working nonstop, 24 hours.
They're working hard.
Yeah,
like I said,
so
I told our
if
local
you don't have
crew.
power today, sometime this week they'll have it back on. But they're working 24/7. Also, just getting in, I want to stress again this Wayne County School System Nutrition Department. They're conducting a feeding program for children up to the age of 18. Again, those begin tomorrow, October 1st, from 11 to 12 noon at Odom Elementary, Scriven Elementary, James E. Bacon, and Martha Ross Smith Elementary. Pickup will be conducted as a drive-through at the front of each school. So, again, I know how important that is. The summer feeding program is big. So, like I said, school's closed until further notice. This feeding program begins tomorrow at those locations.
And this is for the students only up to 18?
It says for kids up to 18.
Okay.
For children up to age 18.
All right.
So, again, just keep that in mind. And, again, we'll get updates from the school system tomorrow. A lot of people concerned about it is homecoming week, so a lot of people want to know how that's going to go, but we should get something on that tomorrow from the interim school superintendent, Tony Williams. So we'll get an update on the school system situation. Again, I know like I said, the baseball field was damaged pretty bad.
Yes, it was.
Softball field looked like they came unscathed, and so did the stadium. I drove out with Jamie and Ralph Hickox to the drive-in the other day, and the drive-in's pretty much been destroyed. So that was a sad situation. So there's just a lot of people hurting right now. So, but again, as a lot of people are just being inconvenienced. So, just
at least we're all still alive here in Wayne County. Many counties don't have that.
A lot of counties, like I said, we're fortunate because if you go to these other counties, I mean, they're talking about they may not have power for a month. So, so just people,
And you're talking about damage. I've been getting out riding and looking at houses. As I get some in, I go by and look at them. And every time I go out, I see something different. I did not even notice this big old sign over here by the Overholt storage and all that. Their billboard's gone. I went by there 3 times. I just noticed it this morning.
Yep. Somebody wants to know, and I would have no idea how to answer this. Maybe you do, Donnie. It says, remind people about back feeding generators can be deadly to linemen to make sure they aren't feeding back into the power lines.
Correct. If you hook your generator straight into your house, now if you got something plugged in, that's fine. But a lot of people, they try to plug it into their house to operate everything through the power outlets and all that inside the house. Sometimes you get backfeed that way. Make sure you have a professional come in and do that if you're going to hook it up to your house.
Okay, what about a Generac? Does that do that also? Do you need to cut that off and turn it off when they're working on your lines, or do you know?
No, I'm sure they're done by professionals. I'm sure they have it so it won't
they have
it.
Okay,
yes.
All right, sounds good.
You can do it with your generator. You just got to have an electrician come in and do it.
Well, again, we appreciate you coming in and give us all this information. Like I said, it's been a wild weekend for sure for a lot of people. Like I said, that getting that gas on Saturday was
and it's still the same. Yesterday in the hurricanes.
They lined up this morning.
It brought me back to my childhood in Pittsburgh.
I want you to know Hurricanes is getting more gas today. They told me that this morning when I was getting my biscuit. All right, somebody just texted in. We got you here, Donnie. I want to get these questions to you. Someone says, I'm trying to get the code text going, and I'm getting response not recognized as I put on alert Wayne County. Did I put the wrong thing in?
It's alert WC.
Alert WC.
And then you text it to 24639.
24639.
Yes, sir.
And you put in alert what now?
It's alert WC, all capital.
Alert WC, all caps.
Yeah. And if you have trouble, just send me a PM on Facebook, and I'll try to help you with it.
Okay, someone says, since most people's internet service is not working, we're not able to receive messages from emergency management services. I guess that's true.
Yes, sir. And let me tell you, I was disappointed when I jumped in my truck the other day and y'all was off the air that morning. I was disappointed because I listen to y'all every morning coming in. So
we hated it. We hated it.
Yeah.
If I could find me a good diesel mechanic, we have a generator back here, but no one's been able to get the thing to work.
Yeah.
But
Bob,
we would love to have generators, but we don't this time.
And then Bob gave an update this morning on the football and baseball. I did not even realize yesterday was Sunday, and I missed all the football and baseball games.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Everybody's schedule is kind of off right now. But once again, Bob, talk about the Wayne County school system.
Right now, the school systems, schools are closed until further notice. I said they've got some damage at this high school and some athletic facilities. So again, they will update the homecoming festivities tomorrow. They'll make an announcement on what's going to take place, if anything's going to take place this week. So just don't know at this point. It's all up in the air. So we'll be in constant contact with Tony, and she'll keep us up to date. But they did give us that information about the school food service program beginning tomorrow at those locations. So
I do want folks to know that when we do the world famous Butch and Bob show, we record it, and then by 12 noon today, it will be posted on our website at bigdogcountry.com. Just go down there where you see local news, local sports, and Butch and Bob show, and it will be there. So if you missed any of the show and you like to listen to all of it to get some information, just go to bigdogcountry.com and go down where you see local news, local sports, and Butch and Bob show. Click on it, and it'll be there by 12 noon today. Donnie, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule this morning to come in and share with our listeners out there. We're here to serve them, and so are you, and we appreciate you doing that.
Well, I appreciate y'all.
All right.
And a reminder, the fair is open, but it's cash only this week.
Cash only at the fair.
But they have everything working. So.
Well, they have generators anyway.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, you walk around, and their generators running everything.
Right, but just remember, it's cash. If you go out there, it's cash only, so keep that in mind. A lot of events this week. Like I said, Odom's getting ready for their homecoming. Popple Farms over this weekend. So a lot happened
2
this week.
weekends from now, you have the
rodeo.
The rodeo.
Right.
So lots going on, and hopefully by this weekend, things will be a lot more normal than they are right now. Dottie, take care.
Thanks, sir.
All right, be safe. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by the Service Department at G&S Auto Sales in Jesup. Also brought to you by First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, and by O.C. Welch Ford.